Okay. Hi! We are live. Amazing. All right. So I'm sitting with Aneta, who is a sensual embodiment coach. And today we're going to have a short little interview, a little conversation, and just, explore this area a little bit more. So, hey, hello, Aneta. Welcome. Welcome.
Hey, love. Thank you for having me here. I'm really glad and blessed to be here with you.
Thank you. I'm very honored to have you at my space as well. And I know Aneta since many years ago, and she have diving deep on the healing journey and have a beautiful journey and beautiful talents to share with the world, and a lot of wisdom and healing tools and a lot of love to share. So I'm really blessed to be able to show her and her work to the world. And here we are. So maybe you can tell me and us short about who you are and how you started to stumble into as a coach, as an embodiment coach.
Thank you for such a beautiful introduction. It made my heart feel so warm, so beautiful. Thank you. I'm really receiving this with gratitude. So that's a final question. Who are you? Who do you identify yourself as? And before I say that I'm a coach, I am an embodiment coach, I like to say that I am a woman, a human being, and a warrior, a survivor. And then I am trauma-informed embodiment coach. And how I became a coach. Actually, the coaching found me before I found coaching. So I always loved helping people, and I always loved sharing my passions. And I always been passionate about healing and especially sexuality. It's been something that I was really interested in since very young age. So I went on my own personal journey, and then I just started talking about it with some people, and I got an invitation to become a life coach of a person I was talking with. And someone literally came up to me and said, Aneta, would you like to be my life coach? And I said, but I'm not a life coach. And at the time I was thinking about it. I was really interested in coaching. I was listening a lot to Tony Robbins, Jay Shetty, and others. And at first I said no. And then I sat with that question, and actually I said, okay, let's make an experiment. And it went really well. So then I started training myself in that direction.
It's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. So if you are very new and just maybe heard the word embodiment, what would you explain that is to a person who never heard that before?
That's a beautiful question. So simply said, embodiment is a way of being, and it goes beyond your conceptual thinking. So, for example, when you ask me at the beginning of this conversation who I am, there's so many things I could say. I could say what I think about myself. I could say what I think others think about me, or about my education, about my career, professional life. An embodiment is basically the way you experience life the way you feel and act in the world, and the way you receive others. Yeah, it goes beyond any beliefs that you may have about yourself. It's about how you feel inside
And
and
if
how you
you,
act.
thank you so much for sharing that. That's beautiful. But if can we use embodiment in our own life, or how would it work for a person who is very new to it, and how would you do? Are there any ways? And if there are any ways, would you be able to maybe share 5 different tips of how we can apply it to our own life?
How you can imply embodiment into your life? I mean, well, it depends. First question I would ask the person that is interested in embodiment. So let's say you, Susie. First ask yourself, what do you want? What do you want to, what's your goal? What do you want to achieve? Who do you want to be? Who do you want to become? And then from there, you can find a person to work with, or you can find your own tools and practices to embody that quality or person. So if you want to be, for example, more confident, then you can find, or someone can like prescribe you, let's say, like you would go to an embodiment pharmacy and say, okay, I want to be more confident. So the embodiment pharmacist prescribes you practices that will help you to become more confident, and also let go and get rid of anything that is holding you back from being more confident or sensual, or whatever that is that you want to embody.
That's
Yeah,
beautiful.
hope that makes sense.
Yeah. That totally makes sense.
Um,
So for example, if you trauma, you mentioned trauma, is that something that we all have, or is it just some people who have experienced that a few times, and do you have to have a challenging childhood to experience trauma? What is trauma?
well, this is very important topic, and very subtle one as well, because there is a lot of things to say about it, and I will try to be as concise as I can. So there is big T and small t, big trauma and small trauma. And big trauma is, for example, having an accident, or being physically or emotionally abused by a person. And it's like a big, huge event that have had an impact on your physiology and your psychology. So this kind of trauma is kind of, let's say, it's something that more people think of when they hear the word trauma. And there is a small t trauma that most of people have had. And I want to be very mindful of my language, and I don't want to say everybody, but unless you haven't had really conscious parents that were nurturing, caring about you in the way that you need it, it's a big chance that you experience trauma in your life. So small t can be experienced as, for example, be left alone in a shop for 5 minutes and you didn't see your parents for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And that caused you feelings of fear, that caused you fear of abandonment. So there was an event that caused reaction in your body. And because body remembers everything, what mind does not, it is stuck in your body. So until this reaction is not physiologically resolved from your body, then you will have symptoms of trauma that affect your life until you deal with it.
Mm. Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think you're right with what you just shared as well. I think that there's many who
Mhm.
think that the big T, like you expressed,
Yeah.
think that you need to experience something very traumatic to be able to have
Mm,
trauma trapped in your body.
yeah. And I
Um,
think that's really important to talk about because, then we go through lives and we don't even know, for example, why we may attract unavailable partners into our
mm,
lives.
mm,
And on conceptual level, we are fine. We're having good lives. We think good thoughts about ourselves, but we still are not being successful in realms of love and relationships.
mm,
And this like subtle little things that your body remembers have huge impact on your life.
mm, mm. So
Yeah.
true. What can there be any symptoms or can or reactions that kind of reveal that you maybe have trauma trapped in your body?
Yeah, definitely. Because trauma is, physiological, not only psychological, it's physiological. We can look at things like your breathing patterns. If you
Mm,
notice that you have shallow breath most of the
mm,
time, and you being nervous around certain situations, doesn't necessarily mean that you have experienced trauma, but this is something to get curious about.
mm,
Yeah, or you dissociate a lot, you don't feel safe in your body,
mm,
your mind wanders a lot, mm, you don't feel like you want to do things, even things that you're passionate about.
mm,
Or as I said before, as something like attracting um, unavailable partners, let's say, or being unavailable to love, to intimacy. And even like sometimes some people are triggered by word intimacy
mm,
when others say it. So if you notice some reaction in your body, then this is like something you can really get curious about.
mm. Very good
Yeah.
things to share
Mm.
there. Thank you for mentioning it. So, if you feel that there's something that draws you to the listeners, if there's someone out there who's maybe curious to explore more of this, um, who would you say would be a suitable client that you would like to work with, and who can, yeah, for your business, and what kind of services do you offer? How do you work with a client and etc.
That's a lot of questions.
Yeah, I'm throwing in all of them.
Okay, I'll take them all. Oh, wow. So the first thing that came to my mind, obviously, I have like certain um, ideal person that I know I can help. But first thing what came to my mind when you said that was committed person, committed to their growth and healing and personal development. And actually, I would say devoted. I, I yeah, I am embodying this word more and more instead of commitment. I like
Mm,
to say devoted. So yeah, a devoted person to their healing, because once you open the closet, you don't know what's there, what
mm,
skeletons you can find. So obviously, it's a very gentle process of looking at these things. But I really love working with people who are devoted
mm,
and yeah, and mm, going more into details, I would say men and women
mm,
uh, who are suffering from fears of intimacy, who want to get into really healthy, authentic, loving relationships.
mm,
And obviously, this work looks different to female body people and male able-bodied people,
Mm.
because we all have different needs and different chemistry, embodiment, qualities. But I would say with women, and I want to be very gentle here, with women, this work about sensual embodiment also touches on trauma a little bit.
Mm.
And I noticed that I keep attracting women who have been experiencing some sexual abuse in their lives. So yes, I would say that I love working with women who have had that experience and show them that they can really heal very gently and simply. And I often get feedback that even one session can help resolve huge problems, huge trauma. I recently worked with a woman who had experienced a lot of I don't want to go into like heavy things. I'm trying to be very mindful of my language and my wording and what I'm sharing with you, but that might feel like a little bit heavy and triggering, but it's a beautiful story because that woman have experienced a lot in her life. But in just few sessions, we got rid of all that stories, all that stored trauma from the
Wow.
body. And she's now really enjoying her feminine expression, feminine essence, her sensuality. And I don't even say that I work with people with trauma. I don't even say that I, you know, I'm working in realms of trauma. I talk about it a lot, of course, because I think it's important.
Mm.
But yeah, this is kind of people that are attracted to my medicine, to my work, and also men who are suppressing their emotions.
Mm.
And that's why I said that this work looks differently for men and women. And I don't want to be like, I don't want to generalize because everybody's individual, and I have very individual approach. But it is true that for most men I work with, they have problems with suppressed emotions. So we work on like expressing anger in a very healthy way because this is what keeps them stuck.
Mm.
Yeah, this is what makes them feel unavailable. And sometimes it's even what makes them feel resentful towards women or men, whoever they want to relate with. So yeah.
Mm. It's a very powerful work you're doing, and I'm glad that you can be the one who is leading more people to more wholeness, and so we
Mm,
can heal both of the leads and the generations, and the future generations as well. And
yeah,
yeah.
that's huge actually, and I feel honored to be able to hold the space
Mm.
because I provide with tools, but people that actually are doing the work, they are their own heroes.
Mm.
So yeah, I want to speak to something important that you said. I just heard you say that it's the work that is really important for future generations.
Mm.
And yes, recently I actually was thinking that I really want to work with children.
Mm.
Yeah, but then I thought, but then I thought, obviously not in realms of sexuality, but I really wanted to transfer my work. And when I was planning for the future, I said that I want to work with children in the future. But actually, this work, it is for children
Mm.
because these people that I work with, some of them are parents, some of them are not yet, but they will be. And the best way to make sure that children have good life and they being nurtured and they have everything that they need is to make sure that they have parents who can first take care of themselves, so then they can care about others. Yeah.
Important work.
Sorry if I'm going too far with everything.
No, everything is coming as it should. I was thinking it's coming to the end. I thought by like an intuitive little thing that just like a 1 or 2 minutes short meditation that you can lead us and the listeners. So it's a very short, nice, relaxing ending.
Okay, cool. So let's do a practice that you can do anywhere, even if you're at work and, for example, you feel a bit even anxious or nervous, or you just want to relax a little bit more and check in with yourself and how you feel in your body. So yeah, with your eyes closed or open, you can begin to just noticing what's happening in your body right now without needing to change anything. Just observe. Is there any tingling, any tension? How is your breath right now? And just simply notice. And ask yourself a question: how am I? How am I really? And remember, you don't need to change anything. Everything's perfect as it is. And you can now start taking a few deep breaths into your belly. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. And just notice the temperature of the air. Notice how your chest is raising and falling. And become aware of your sit bones or any points that your body is making contact with a floor or whatever you are sitting on. Just become aware of those places and feel how it is supporting you. Feel how the floor is supporting you right now. And if you have your feet on the ground or on the floor, you can imagine what shape they would do on the sand. And just really place attention on your feet right now. And if you have your eyes closed, keep them closed, but slowly coming back into the room that you are in. Feel the space around you. And you can slowly open the eyes, taking more colors in.
Wow.
That was really short one.
Beautiful. It's so good to lead with love. I felt very present and relaxed. I felt more of my stress have already fall off my shoulders. A good little
Beautiful.
aperitif, little appetizer.
Yeah, a little starter. Would you like to share what word came up to you when I said, ask yourself, how am I? And of course, if you want to share There's no need to. No is a valid answer. So however you feel.
I scanned through and then I thought, I feel pretty good actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. But relaxed. Feel more grounded now than I did.
Yeah, me too, actually. I feel we should have done it at the beginning.
Yeah, before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Is there anything else that you would like to share before we're ending our beautiful conversation? Or do you feel like we covered all?
Yeah, I would like to say just for anyone who's listening, really follow your pleasure, follow what feels good, follow your urges, and I hope that you feel safe in that. I hope you feel safe to follow your intuition and follow your urges. Yeah.
Beautiful, loving messages. I love that. It's been an honor and a pleasure to have you here. And I will share some of Aneta's information, I was going to say, under or below. So if you're feeling called and drawn, you can explore her website. And yeah, that's it basically. Thank you so much for being part of this little journey with me here. And sending you all of my love. And yeah, thank you for being here.
Thank you, honey. It was such a pleasure. Thank you for having me. Thank you for holding this beautiful space.
Okay. Kisses and bye.
Bye. Puss, puss.